It is weird to look at 21 seasons of this Football Manager save and seeing little FC Voluntari at the top of the list as the previous winner of the Champions League. We are the best team Romania has ever seen. I mean, arguably, if we scroll down, there probably is some other Romanian sides in here, isn't there? I'm thinking Steaua Bucharest, yeah, they won it. But that was in 1985 and 1986. So it was a long time ago. We've kind of restored Romania back near the top, not to the top, back near the top of European football. And this season, we are fighting on 5 different fronts, which means we have the opportunity to win 5 trophies. I feel like we might win 3 of them. We've got the UEFA Super Cup is the new one that we are going to be entering, which is actually going to take place in between now and the next kind of part of the video, where we're going to be playing against Marseille. I don't think the Super Cup counts towards coefficients. We can double check after we've played, but I don't think it actually makes any difference to coefficients. It would be nice if it did, if we win. It would be nice if it didn't if we lose. As we do at the start of every season, let's talk through some of the transfers that have already taken place at the moment the transfer window opens. Jude Taiku is first up. He has left the club signing for U Cluj. He's been on loan there a few times, in fact 3 times since signing for us back in 2015, back in 2036 for £215,000. They brought him for £900,000 because he actually played and he's actually a decent footballer, so that's good. Similar situation as well to Karasu, might be his name. He has moved over to FC Rapid on a permanent deal for £900,000. Played a lot of football for Rapid over the last few seasons because he did spend a season in the middle at Cluj, but 2 seasons on loan and now joining on a permanent deal. As has Ovidiu Molnar, he's gone over to FC Rapid on a permanent deal on a free transfer. He's apparently sitting in their under-19s. I think he's better than that. This man's also left the club on a free transfer, signing for CF Miaveni. Razvan Tataru has also left the club, signing for Farrell Costanza on a free. And Alexander Jovanovic has left the club, signing for Ajax for £275,000. We brought him in a couple of years ago to be a backup. He was a backup, and I've gone, you know what? I don't really want you because you're not Romanian. We kind of need a Romanian backup or a good young goalkeeper backup. He is neither of these. He's 28. And he has kind of been replaced because we brought in a new number 1 goalkeeper. Fabrice Mabarga has signed from Al Ittihad over in Saudi Arabia, formerly of Antwerp as well. He's a Belgian international. He is part Cameroonian as well. He has come in on a free transfer. He went over to Saudi Arabia for just over £11 million. We brought him to Romania on a free transfer. He is our number 1 goalkeeper, which means Jimmy Kabakal, who is our number 2 goalkeeper, is going to basically take Jovanovic's place on the subs bench. Another player to join on a free transfer is Filani Mariba, who is a South African central defender signed from Sundowns. 15 caps to his name. He's come in as an important player, which is nonsense. He is basically going to be a squad player. And returning to the club on a free transfer is Demble Dudu. The fans love this. In fact, I even got a Steam achievement because of this one. I brought back a club legend or an icon or something back to the club, and the fans absolutely loved it. Demble Dudu returns from his 3-year spell over in Saudi Arabia on a free transfer. I don't think he's going to play a huge amount of football because he's a right back and he is 30, but he's come in, he's good enough for a couple of years. And finally, Luciano has made his loan deal from Man United permanent for £18.25 million. He's very good. He's probably going to be battling it out with Davidson up front for the striker position this season, because obviously last year, Tom Davidson did pick up a bad injury, missing most of the season. I think this year, Luciano might be our number 1 striker, and then next year, Davidson kind of breaks back in. That's been all of our transfer business so far. We've got £36.5 million to spend, but we are over our wage budget. We're going to jump forward now until probably, I'm going to say the end of the transfer window. We're going to see what happens in the UEFA Super Cup, see if we can win that one. See what happens in the Romanian Super Cup as well. And then hopefully we can kick off the league half decently also. Well, the league certainly started off pretty well. We are currently top of the table on the 6th of September with 9 wins out of a possible 9 and conceded 2 goals and scoring 30. Before we look at that, though, let's take a look at the transfer business and also see how well we've done in the UEFA Super Cup. In fact, we will show that now, and we have won the UEFA Super Cup, beating Marseille in extra time. A 2-1 win, goals from Luciano and Ivan with the winner in the 94th minute. I mean, this is our starting 11 for most of the season, by the way. This kind of seems to be what they play. Dimitri is a right back I'm not convinced by, but, you know, I haven't locked anyone in at this point. I might do for the rest of the season, but right now this is an unlocked-in squad, and that's what they've gone with. Annoyingly, we haven't won the Romanian Super Cup, however. So we've won the harder Super Cup to win, but we've lost against CFR Cluj in the Romanian Super Cup, which is frustrating. And then this is kind of the current situation of everything else. Like I said, we're top of the table, scoring lots and lots of goals. Let's see transfers. Right, there's quite a few things to talk about, so we're going to fly through them. Darius Star Wars has left the club on a permanent deal going back to Poland for a decent sum of money, 3.7, potentially going up to £4.5 million. He got relegated to third choice, basically, so I just wanted to get rid of him. For £1.1 million, Nicolas Mendes has moved over to France, signing for Rennes. I wanted to keep him in Romania, but no Romanian sides wanted him, so we've just got him off the books. Jacques Loeb is another player that I really wanted to keep in Romania, but nobody wanted him. He's signed for Tenerife. Ali Erenkaya is another player that I wanted to keep in Romania, but nobody wanted him. He's gone over to Ajax for about £3.5 million. Baba Ndoye has also left the club. He has signed for Al Shabab over in, I'm going to say Qatar. It's not Qatar. It's always Saudi Arabia. £2.3 million, potentially going up to £2.4 million. We just weren't really playing him. I mean, that's a complete lie. He did play a fair amount last season, but most of them are off the bench. This one stung a little bit. George Boateng has left, signing for Manchester City. And the reason why it stung is because he had a minimum fee release clause, which was not very high at all, £3.8 million. And we don't have a sell-on. As far as I'm aware, we don't have a sell-on. This one has stung a little bit. George Boateng has left the club, signing for Man City for just £3.8 million. It's not very high, however, he wanted to leave. We were not going to be able to keep him. He only had a year left on his contract as well, I think. So what I did is I locked in 50% sell-on in the future and then just took some money for him. He's not going to play for Man City. I haven't loaned him back. They did offer it, but I went, you know what? We can't necessarily register you anyway. So we've taken the money and we might get a lot more money further down the line. Peter Meyer has also left the club, £1.5 million signing for FC Arges. This is the type of signing that I really want to do. I want to get rid of them over to clubs in Romania where he's actually going to play and make a difference. Unlike this one, because he didn't make a difference when he joined us. Mohamed Padanu is his name. He has gone back to Wolfsburg. We bought him for £3.9 million. We've sold him for £4.2 million, potentially going up to £5 million. We just weren't really playing him. He came off the bench 11 times. Again, registration things means that we kind of need to start limiting players who aren't Romanian, and I don't think he's good enough for us, so we'll take the money. Now I've given you all that spiel about players that aren't Romanian. Here's 4 players that aren't Romanian. It is Remy Lametri, might be his name, a 19-year-old, that's his age, a 19-year-old French goalkeeper signed from PSG for £500,000 with the intent to loan him out in Romania, and no Romanians want him yet. Again, for £500,000, Stanislas Dediu, an 18-year-old French midfielder signed from Lyon, brought him in to hopefully loan him out to other teams in Romania. Nobody wants him. Istvan Gal is next up, and he is not a player who we're going to hopefully loan out. He's hopefully going to get a bit of game time. The Hungarian international signed from the Puskás Academy has cost £2.7 million. I think he's good, and also I'm thinking he's going to be one for the future as well. And finally, Lars Dylong has joined from FC Copenhagen. I think this is the 3rd player that we signed from FC Copenhagen in the last couple of seasons because they had a golden generation and we pinched pretty much all of them. Dylong has joined for £6 million from Copenhagen. One problem, however, he does have a minimum fee release of 22.5, which it's high enough, but if he gets good, which judging by all of those arrows going slightly upwards, he might get good, we might need to try and offer him a new deal to get rid of that minimum fee release. But that is our transfer business. If we very briefly look at this as well, sorting by loan deals, once again, much like last season, we've loaned out a load of players to other teams in Romania. There's the odd one here or there which aren't Romanian, for example. Georgiou's gone to Vardar, who we know are from North Macedonia, but for the most part, they've all gone off to Romania. Also, this man annoys me because he keeps going out on loan and doesn't play any football and doesn't ever improve. He's North Korean's best ever footballer and he's rubbish because he doesn't play. So that was the transfer business for the season. When we take a look at our squad, we're locking in nobody. That's right. We've got to a point, at least this season anyway, we've got to a point where I'm not basically forcing anyone to play because I quite like the fact that if we go like this, sort by best 11, this is pretty much what I would lock in. The only thing that I maybe wouldn't do is put Dimitriou there, but I'm kind of okay with him playing there. Because if we get injuries, then he can play there. Or we can play Dudu, or we can play Simic, or we can play Skuglia in that right-back position. We've got the option to do all this rotation, so I'm actually kind of okay with locking in absolutely nobody. And on the 17th of December, we have reached the winter break. We are top of the Romanian First League by, I only said 15, by 18 points. And we have a game in hand over Universitatea Craiova. We've not lost a single match. We've drawn once against Craiova, who are way down in 12th place, which is kind of annoying, isn't it? As you can see as well, in the Champions League, we're doing quite well, up in 7th place. We've won 4 matches, beating Barcelona, Feyenoord, Birmingham and PSG. We can't even see who else we've got because there's too many competitions going on. We've also lost twice, however, against Marseille and Dortmund. Losing against Marseille is annoying because, coefficients-wise, Italy and France are the 2 teams kind of above and below us, We don't want to lose to either of those nations. The fact that we beat PSG 6-1, though, is kind of a good thing. The other Romanian sides, how are they getting on in the Champions League? Cluj are there. Benfica, Galatasaray and Lech they have beaten, drawing with Red Star losing against Man City and getting absolutely battered by Augsburg. Not ideal. And I think that's it. Unless I'm missing somebody like really obvious, but I think that is it from a Romanian kind of perspective in the Champions League. Is in the Europa League, however, we've got three teams. Arges are in 18th, 2 wins. Young Boys and Brøndby, they've drawn with Getafe and Roma, and they've lost against Braga and VfB Stuttgart. It's not going well. They've beaten Dnipro, that is Cluj, by the way. Trabzonspor, Antwerp and Roma are draws. Defeats against Olympiacos and Stuttgart and Rapid, who I think are actually bottom of the table. If I look at it, yep, they're bottom of the table. 0 wins, 2 draws, PSV, Maccabi Tel Aviv, and then 4 defeats against Slavia Prague, Bratislava, Chelsea, and Freiburg. It's not going well in Europe. Have we got anyone else in here? I mean, I feel like if we do, they should be doing really well. We've got nobody in the Europa Conference League. Right, we are going to go forward to the other side of the January transfer window. We've got £45 million to spend, and I don't think I want to spend it, although I'm pretty sure I say this every single January transfer window, and then spend £30 million. So we'll see what happens, shall we? We haven't spent any money, but we have sold some players. Jimmy Gbakel has left the club, signing for Al Ittihad. We've basically traded goalkeepers because he was no longer our number one. He basically didn't want to be here anymore, so we've sent him over to Saudi Arabia. He's on £600,000 a week. That is absolute madness. He's gone for £3.9 million, which is pretty good. We've also sold Stanislas Dediu, who has moved over to Cluj. I'm pretty sure we just literally signed him this season and then sold him on for a bit of profit already, but he's staying in Romania now, which is always a good thing. And finally, Ivan has left the club, signing for Arsenal for potentially up to £45 million. It's 36 so far. We did spend 20 on him in the first place, but we've made a profit, and I'm taking a big risk in not replacing him. I'm taking a massive risk, but I think we've got the players to do it. Skuglia can probably play more as a defensive midfielder if we need him to, so Ivan leaving isn't the end of the world, and there is confirmation we brought nobody else in. That is literally all we have done. A few more loan deals have taken place as well. So Enel going on loan to U Cluj. We've also got Painter, Fisher and Stanza also leaving on various loan deals to various clubs. And the good news is we are top of the Romanian First League, which is a surprise to absolutely nobody. We've not lost actually. We've actually not lost at all. 25 wins, 1 draw. So yep, that is looking very good. An 8-3 win there against U Cluj. Always nice to see. In the Champions League, we have finished 6th in the group. 5 wins now in total, beating Red Star and Barcelona. I think were the ones that were missing last time around. A draw with Celtic, maybe that might have been missing from the list that I've just mentioned. So, I mean, that's good. I'm happy with that. It means we're not in the knockout round just yet. We'll come in at the round of 16 to try and defend our title, which is ridiculous for me to say out loud. Anyway, let's jump forward then to the end of the regular season. See how well we've got on. We'll be the other side of the round of 16 as well for the Champions League, where I think we might get knocked out, if I'm honest. Not quite. We have managed to scrape past Augsburg. 3-2 on aggregate, a 2-2 draw and a 1-0 win. So we've managed to make it through to the quarterfinals, which has not been drawn just yet. From a First League perspective, we are obviously top of the table. Have we lost a match? We've still not lost a game. 29 wins, 1 draw, 88 points, which gets half to 44. We've got 14 points gap. There is a total of, I mean, it's 10 times 3. There's a total of 30 points to grab. So we need to win like 4 games, 5 games maybe. And then we are champions. And we can lose 5 games as well. I'm going to do this every year now, I think, and just show you in March every kind of youth intake preview. It's still rubbish, okay? It's still rubbish. It's a one-star intake, C+ or C quality goalkeeper. This is our youth head of youth development, by the way. We can't get many decent ones. He's only just come in last year, Canadian. He's good. 15's around is actually not awful, is it? Similar formation to what we play, so I'm kind of okay with that. Arguably, it should be a 4-2-2-1. I don't even know. What formation do we play? No, it is a 4-3-3. It's not a 4-3-3, it's a 4-2-4. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. This is our head of youth development, and he's not very good either, apparently. So, end of the season then, and we have gone undefeated for an entire season. Another 8 wins and 2 draws this time around. So we've literally dropped a total of 6 points. We dropped a total of 6 points in the entirety of the 30 or 40 game season. We've dropped 6 points, which is just nuts. We have finished with 70 points. What is that? Is that 23? 23 points clear of second place Cluj. We did not get to the final of the Champions League, a final which was won on penalties by Aston Villa. However, we did get to the semi-finals against Atletico Madrid, losing in the end, though, 4-2. And what is that? It would have been we won the first leg 2-1 and then lost the second leg 4-2. So we had a chance to get to the final and defend our title, but we ballsed it up against Madrid. But we have won the Romanian Cup once again. So we seem to kind of sporadically win this, which is fine. And we have been entered into the Club World Championships next season, which is fair enough. I mean, we did all right last time we were in this, didn't we? I feel like this time around, Chelsea, Kawasaki Frontale, and Racing Club from Argentina. I feel like this is a much harder group than what we had last time around. We should be able to beat Kawasaki. We should be able to beat Racing Club. I'm hoping we can go through second place in the group, and then God knows what's going to happen from there. I've just seen there's a club from Tahiti. I mean, they're going to get absolutely smashed. They've got Man City and a team from Tahiti. Hold on, what nations are involved in this? Is there any really silly ones? I mean, Tahiti's pretty silly, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's literally just Tahiti. Just Tahiti are the kind of the weirdest ones. They're a semi-professional side who've decided to fly all the way over to Germany to get smashed by Roma, Man City and Al Ahly, and then just go home again and probably have a lovely time doing it. So obviously we did not lock anybody in this season, but when we sort by the amount of goals scored, there are a lot of players scoring a lot of goals. In fact, I think we probably need to remove that because some of those players weren't playing for us, were they? So we have got Justin Olieta, or Telita might be his name. He come through our youth intake a long time ago. He's not a terrible footballer. He's just been here because he's Romanian, and he's apparently scored 12 goals for us. Well done. Isaac Bonsu, 13 goals in the league, 15 in all competitions. Vinny Marengo, how have you done this season? 18 and 13 in all competitions. Tommy Davidson, I imagine you've missed a lot of football purely because Luciano, I think, is better technically than you at the moment. 19 goals, just the 1 assist. Toff Christiansen, 24 goals and 12 assists from the right-hand side. Carlo McLennan playing as an attacking midfielder. He's getting ridiculous. He is a 5-star central midfielder. 26 goals, 15 assists. And Luciano at the top there. 30 goals and 12 assists. I say it's not a huge amount of goals. It is. 30 goals is a lot of goals. But I weirdly would have liked him to have got more because basically we didn't play Davidson. So there was a lot more hope on Luciano to score lots of goals. From an assist perspective, Seema is there with 12 assists. That's always good to see. I like that. We've got Dimitru, who must have been playing as a right-back to get 13 assists. Demble Dudu is there with 14 assists, also playing as a right-back, I would imagine, which is always good. And then Michael Vasil as our left-back, getting 16 assists in all competitions. We've had a good year once again, but I'm starting to worry that our trying to build a nation is starting to struggle. Because I feel like we've not had a good year. We haven't had a particularly good year when it comes to coefficients, even though we've done well. Other Romanian sides have not. So sorting by next year, we're not moving up or down, but Italy are moving up. We are a whopping, 18 points difference. We're not going to be able to clear that 18 points. Basically, we need to win the Champions League and ideally someone else from Romania win the Europa League every season until the end of this save for us to move up to 4th or 5th place in the coefficients. I feel like, honestly, I don't think it's doable. So at the end of Season 22, we do win the treble once again. We do enter the Club World Championships, which will obviously be in the next episode. But that is going to do it for Season 22. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I will be back next time with Season 23 of our Building a Nation Save of Romania. Hopefully, we can win the Champions League again. If we can win it one more time before we finish, that'll be good. I will be happy with that.